Welcome to a quiet world beneath the water. Here, time slows down, and nothing feels rushed. Guppies drift gently through the tank, their colors shifting with the light. They move with curiosity, but without urgency. Shrimp travel along the glass, step by step, cleaning, grazing, restoring balance. This aquarium is not silent, but it is peaceful. Water flows softly. Bubbles rise slowly. Pause for a moment and simply observe. Every small movement matters here, even the ones that are easy to miss. Shrimp work quietly, without recognition, yet their role is essential. Their tiny legs move steadily, antennae sensing the space around them. Guppies bring life and motion. They explore, pause, and explore again. They follow invisible paths, guided by instinct. In this tank, different lives coexist. No conflict, no competition, only balance.
When food enters the water, everything responds gently. Shrimp gather with care, while guppies observe from above. Even feeding time feels calm.
Light dances through the water. Creating moving patterns on glass and plants. Shadows shift slowly, never staying in one place. This is not entertainment. This is presence. Watching an aquarium can feel like meditation because nothing demands your attention. You are free to breathe, to relax, to let thoughts drift away. Up close, life reveals its smallest details. Tiny movements, soft textures, quiet persistence. Guppies communicate without sound, through motion, through space. Stay here a little longer. Let the water move at its own pace. Stay here a little longer. Let the water move at its own pace. Nothing needs your attention right now. there is nowhere else to be. Guppies continue their gentle journey. Moving through familiar paths, turning softly as light follows them. Their motion is unhurried, calm and effortless. Shrimp remain focused on their quiet work, patient and steady. Exploring every surface with care. One step at a time. They continue without pause. There is comfort in repetition. In movements that never rush. The tank breathes slowly. Water flowing without resistance. Bubbles rise toward the surface. Disappear and rise again. Plants sway gently with the current. Never forcing direction, only responding. This small world continues, with or without being watched. Life here does not seek attention. It simply exists. Watching reminds us that stillness has value. That quiet moments matter. Progress does not always need speed. Sometimes, balance is enough. Here, nothing feels wasted. Every movement has a purpose. Even when it seems simple. Guppies pause in open water. Hovering between motion and rest. Shrimp continue their silent routine. Without expectation. The aquarium holds its balance naturally. Without control. without effort. This is life in its simplest form. Steady, gentle, unchanging. No schedules exist here. No urgency. Only movement and flow. If your thoughts begin to wander, let them drift like the water. There is no need to follow them. No need to hold on. Return your focus to the tank, to the light, to the calm. The aquarium continues its rhythm. Slow, constant. And you can stay here for as long as you like.
Watching fish has a quiet way of slowing the mind. There is something about water and movement that asks nothing from us. When we observe fish swimming, our breathing often changes without us noticing. It becomes deeper, slower, more relaxed. Their motion is predictable, yet never boring. Each turn feels gentle. Each pause feels intentional. Unlike screens filled with noise and urgency, an aquarium does not demand reactions. It invites patience. There is no pressure to understand everything. No need to respond. Only the option to watch. For many of us, this calm began much earlier in life, long before we understood why it felt comforting. As a child, watching fish felt like discovering a secret world, a small universe contained in glass, alive yet distant. I remember standing still, eyes following tiny movements, forgetting everything else around me. The room would fade away, and the tank would become the center of attention. There was no concept of time then. Minutes stretched into what felt like forever. Problems did not exist in that moment. Only colors, bubbles, and slow movement. That feeling stays with us, even as life becomes louder and faster. As adults, we return to aquariums without realizing why. Seeking something familiar, something grounding. Watching fish reminds us of simpler attention, of focusing on one gentle thing without distraction. Science often explains this calm through rhythm and repetition, but the heart understands it differently. It feels like being allowed to rest without guilt. Fish do not hurry. They do not chase outcomes. They simply move forward. In their world, being present is enough. When we watch them, we borrow a little of that presence, even if only for a moment. The water becomes a boundary between noise and quiet, between stress and stillness. Inside the tank, everything flows. Outside, the world can wait. This is why aquariums often sit in hospitals, waiting rooms, and homes seeking peace. They offer calm without explanation. For some, this calm is nostalgia, a return to childhood curiosity. For others, it is discovery, a reminder that peace still exists in small places. Every time you watch fish swim, you reconnect with that quiet observer within you, the one who did not rush, who did not overthink, who simply watched. And in that watching, something softens. The mind slows, the body relaxes, and the moment becomes enough. That is the quiet gift of an aquarium. Not entertainment, but presence. And that feeling, once found, can always be returned to.
And returning to it never feels forced. It happens quietly, almost without effort. You sit near the tank, or let it play in the background, and something inside begins to soften. The mind stops searching for the next thought, the next task, the next worry. Instead, attention settles, like dust falling gently in still water. Fish continue their slow paths, unaware of being watched, moving as they always have. There is comfort in knowing that this world continues, steady and unchanged, no matter how busy life becomes outside the glass. Watching them reminds us that not everything needs improvement. Some things are already enough. In a world that constantly asks for more,
The aquarium asks for nothing. It does not measure success. It does not count time. It does not demand answers. It simply exists and allows us to do the same. For a few moments, the weight of responsibility feels lighter. Deadlines fade. Expectations loosen. And the body remembers how to rest. The gentle movement of fins and tails becomes a rhythm, one that the heart slowly follows. Breathing deepens. Shoulders relax. And thoughts lose their sharp edges. Even memories feel softer here, returning without noise. Childhood moments surface quietly. Standing close to a tank, watching without distraction. Back then, there was no reason for watching. It was simply interesting. That kind of attention still lives within us, waiting to be invited back. And every time we watch fish swim, we open that door again. The water carries motion forward, without urgency, without resistance. Plants sway, light shifts, and time stretches gently. Nothing asks you to hurry. Nothing asks you to decide. You are allowed to remain still, to simply observe. The aquarium becomes a small refuge, a place where the noise of the world cannot reach. Here, movement is slow, and presence is enough. And as long as the water flows, this calm will always be here, waiting quietly just beneath the surface.
And beneath the surface, there is a quiet reflection of life itself. The water teaches without speaking, showing how movement can exist without struggle. Fish do not fight the current, they adjust, they flow. In many ways, life asks the same of us. Not to resist every change, but to move with what is already happening. Watching fish reminds us that progress does not always look like speed. Sometimes it looks like patience. Sometimes like waiting. The aquarium shows that balance is not forced. It is maintained through small, steady actions. Shrimp clean without seeking reward. Doing what needs to be done. Life often works the same way. The smallest efforts keep everything running. We rarely notice them until they stop. Fish do not carry yesterday with them, nor do they rush toward tomorrow. They exist fully in the moment they are in. Life feels lighter when we do the same. The tank does not try to be impressive, yet it holds beauty effortlessly. In life, the most meaningful moments are often the quiet ones. Not the loud victories, but the soft pauses in between. Watching this small world reminds us that rest is not wasted time. Stillness is not failure. Even when nothing seems to be happening, balance is being restored beneath the surface. Just like in life, where growth often happens silently. Roots grow before branches appear. Fish trust the water to hold them without fear. In our own lives, learning to trust the process takes time. But when we do, movement becomes easier. The aquarium does not promise certainty. It offers continuity. And sometimes that is enough. Life does not always need answers. It needs space. Space to breathe, to observe, to feel. Watching fish gives us permission to slow down without explanation. It reminds us that being present is a form of progress. As water flows steadily forward, so does life. Not in straight lines, but in gentle curves. The tank accepts change quietly. Light shifts, plants grow, patterns evolve. Life does the same, often without asking us first. Resistance creates tension. Acceptance creates flow. The aquarium teaches this without instruction. It shows how coexistence is possible, how different lives share the same space. In life, too, we are part of a larger system. Each role matters, even the ones unseen. When we step back and observe, we realize we are not meant to control everything. Some things only ask to be witnessed. And in witnessing, we soften. We remember that life, like water, moves best when it is allowed to flow. And whenever we forget this, we can return here, to the quiet, to the movement, to the lesson beneath the surface. And beneath that quiet lesson, dreams begin to surface. Not the loud kind that demand attention, but the gentle ones that stay with us. The dreams that move slowly, like fish through water. Dreams do not rush either. They grow in their own time. Some drift close to the surface, clear and visible. Others stay deeper, waiting patiently. Washing fish reminds us that not every dream needs to be chased. Some only need space and time. Fish follow no deadlines, yet they continue moving forward. Dreams often work the same way. They respond to consistency, to quiet care, to trust. Shrimp clean the tank every day, small actions repeated. Dreams are built the same way, through unnoticed effort. A little attention, a little patience, again and again. The aquarium does not rush growth. Plants expand slowly. Colors deepen over time. Dreams, too, take shape gradually. What matters is not speed, but direction. Fish do not see the whole tank at once. They move through one space at a time. In life, dreams often reveal themselves the same way. One step, one decision, one quiet moment. Sometimes dreams feel distant. Like movement behind glass. Close enough to see, but not yet to touch. That distance can feel frustrating. But watching fish teaches patience. They do not force the water to change, they adapt to it. Dreams ask us to do the same. To adjust, to flow. To keep moving even when progress feels slow. The tank holds many paths. Fish choose one without overthinking.
Dreams, too, do not require certainty, only willingness. Some days, movement is minimal. Other days, everything shifts. Both are part of the journey. The aquarium accepts this rhythm without judgment. Life often judges pauses, but dreams grow during them. Even when nothing seems to change, something is aligning beneath the surface. Fish rest without guilt. They do not question stillness. Dreams also need rest. They need moments of quiet where pressure fades. Watching fish swim reminds us that staying connected to a dream does not mean constantly chasing it. Sometimes it means simply remembering it, letting it stay close, like a familiar presence. The water carries dreams forward even when they are not visible. Just as life continues working in the background. Fish trust the water to support them, even in unfamiliar spaces. Dreams ask for that same trust. To believe that movement is happening even when it cannot be seen. And when doubt appears, the aquarium offers reassurance. Nothing here is wasted. Every motion, every pause, every return. Dreams do not disappear, they change shape. They learn, they adapt. Like fish finding new paths through the tank. And sometimes, dreams arrive quietly. Not as dramatic endings, but as gentle shifts. A feeling of alignment, a sense of belonging. The aquarium teaches that fulfillment, like water, does not need to be loud. It only needs to flow. And whenever dreams feel heavy or distant, you can return to this quiet world. To remember that movement continues even when it is slow. That dreams, like fish, find their way. Just beneath the surface. And as dreams continue their quiet journey, they begin to feel less distant. Not because they are suddenly within reach, but because the urgency around them fades. Watching fish teaches that arrival is not always the point. Movement itself carries meaning. Dreams do not need constant pressure. They need space to breathe. In the aquarium, life unfolds without comparison. No fish measures itself against another. No path is judged as right or wrong. Dreams grow best in the same freedom. When we stop measuring progress, we begin to notice growth. The aquarium does not promise outcomes. It offers continuity. And life, like water, moves forward whether we watch or not. Sometimes dreams change direction. Quietly, without announcement. What once felt important may soften. What felt small may become meaningful. Fish adapt without resistance. They do not mourn the current they left behind. Dreams ask us to do the same. To release what no longer fits and trust what comes next. The aquarium reminds us that balance is dynamic, always adjusting, never fixed. Life and dreams move through similar cycles. Growth, pause, renewal. Even stillness carries purpose. Watching fish rest teaches us that nothing is lost in waiting. Dreams often gather strength in silence. In moments when nothing seems to be happening, everything is aligning quietly. The water holds patience effortlessly, supporting every movement without demand. Life becomes lighter when we allow ourselves that same support. Dreams do not require certainty, only openness. The aquarium shows that clarity comes with time, not force. Light shifts, patterns change, yet harmony remains. Dreams rarely arrive as planned. They reveal themselves gradually. Through small decisions, gentle changes, unexpected turns. Fish do not question the path once chosen. They move forward with trust. And trust is what carries dreams across uncertainty. The quiet of the tank invites acceptance of where you are, as you are. Dreams do not demand perfection. They ask for presence. Watching this small world reminds us that fulfillment can be simple. Not dramatic, not loud. Just aligned. As the water continues its endless flow, life does the same. And dreams move within it. Sometimes close to the surface,
sometimes deep and unseen. Both are valid. Both are moving forward. The aquarium teaches us that nothing is wasted. Every moment belongs. Rest belongs. Waiting belongs, and so do you. As this quiet world continues, you are free to stay, or to carry this calm with you. The water will keep flowing. The fish will keep moving. And whenever you need to return, this stillness will be here, holding space without expectation, just beneath the surface.